Rivals, a word ingrained in the lexicon of the New England sports fan. Celtics, Lakers, Bruins, Canadiens, Red Sox, Yankees. But what if these fierce competitors stood not states, but 4.2 miles away, needing not airports and highways, but a single road? You would have Boston College versus Boston University. Tonight, a frozen battle fought from the heart of Commonwealth Ave to the Heights, from the ice of the Garden to the infield of Fenway, writes its 249th chapter. 2 national champions, 2 veteran leaders, 2 timeless institutions, 1 city, rivals. Next.
On Damon, he waves and misses for strike 3. Line drive as he went out and got that one, and it's down into the corner for an extra base hit. Lunging looper to left, that is going to drop down for a hit against by Ramirez. The run is in. The Wolf is at the door in the 3rd inning for Kurt Schilling. Bases loaded. Swinging a drive. Deep shot to right, off the wall on the fly. Ground ball back to the mound. Rivera with it. To second, one on the first, double play.
Well, New York is just pounding the Red Sox into the turf here. Put this one on ice. They have a 16-6 lead.
Yankees lead the series 3 wins to none. He goes, the pitch taken outside. Here's the throw. Roberts dives, and he is safe. Not going to bunt. He swings and lines one up the middle into center field. A base hit. Bernie Williams' throw is cut off, and the game is tied.
The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a drive, deep to right, way back, and this ball is gone!
And he gets knocked down in the seat of his pants.
Here's the pitch, and a little flare, center field, the ball falls for a hit. Here comes Johnny Damon with the winning run, and David Ortiz has done it again. The Red Sox will play Game 6 tomorrow night in New York.
Like a scene from The Natural, Schilling climbs the mound and prepares to take on this Yankee lineup.
Arroyo picks it up, and he tracked him, he dropped the ball! It rolls down the right field line! A-Rod is out, swing and a miss! He threw a fastball by him! Game 7 coming up tonight! Swinging a high drive to deep right! Back toward the corner it goes! Grand slam! Swinging a ground ball to second base. Pokey Reese has it. He throws to first, and the Red Sox have won the American League pennant.
October 20th, 2004, the watershed moment in Boston Red Sox history. A night that not only catapulted them to their first championship title in more than 8 decades.
Swinging a ground ball, stabbed by Polk. He has it. He underhands to first, and the Boston Red Sox are the world champions. For the first time in 86 years, the Red Sox have won baseball's world championship. Can you believe it?
But it was that night in Gotham on the hallowed ground of Yankee Stadium that created a ripple that will be felt for generations. A night that forever changed the tone of the greatest rivalry in sports. Now, the Yankees have tasted the bitter end of this rivalry, and things will never be the same.
Yeah, that year's over with. We lost. They were a better team. They deserved to win. And, now we want to get what they have.
Some things remain the same. The uniform, the stage, and the intensity. But both teams bring new elements to the rivalry for 2005. Tonight, the new chapter begins. A chapter that has the Red Sox beginning their title defense in the Bronx.
So we close in on that topic with Dennis Eckersley, as Cliff Lee certainly got to be in the discussion as he comes over to the American League, comes back to the American League, where he pitched so well with Cleveland. But we're going to break this down a few ways. Let's begin with guys who come so close but didn't quite make the cut.
You see that list. These guys are all established. You see Joe Saunders coming off of 16 wins, 17 wins. The guy in the middle, Scott Kazmir, he could have been in this conversation a couple years ago, punching out the world, but he has fallen off a little bit. And John Stanks is, a quality left-hander that you have to put, in on this list, but not the top 5. There's, no way he's in the top 5. So this is a tough list. You start to think about this. There's a lot of good left-handed pitchers, and we find our way to coming back to John Lester is what happens.
There's no question about that. When you look at the top 5, too, it's a combination. We spent some time talking about this last night. Would have done this last night if the game didn't go till midnight. But we look at the whole package, career and how they're pitching now, to decide if you were picking a lefty on your team right now, who would it be? Number 5 is Mark Buehrle.
Well, I'll give it to Mark Buehrle. Here's a guy that's thrown a perfect game, a no-hitter. I mean, I love the way he goes at it, in a hurry. He gets the ball and throws it. You think about it, 137 wins. What is he, 31 years old? I mean, this guy's got a chance to win 250 games. Long ways to go. I mean, he features some salad. He doesn't throw all that hard, but he seems to get guys out. And when you're a left-hander, you can last a long, long time. And he's done a nice job for Chicago. Remains to be seen. So he's on the list. I mean, it's tough enough, but he's number 5 on that list.
It's called the Jamie Moyer rule. You can be left-handed and throw salad and still be very good. Andy Pettit, the elder statesman here, 37 years old.
I mean, you tell you what, especially this year starting off 5-0, but this guy's been around forever. Everybody knows him. He's really a Red Sox killer, lifetime. And you see those numbers right there. He's coming close to 250 wins. And, I'll tell you what, he's in the conversation for a Hall of Fame. I think he still has to pitch a couple more years. Well, what he's done in the postseason, all-time winner in wins in the postseason. But, he's probably saying, if on this list, what about me, man? I've done this for a long, long time. But we're talking about guys that are a little younger than he is. What is he, 37 years old?
That's right. Guys like Cliff Lee, who we just talked about, 31 years old, now 2 years removed from an American League Cy Young Award.
And about 3 years removed from falling off the cliff when he went into the minor leagues. Came back the following year, was Cy Young for the Cleveland Indians, and then you see what happened last year. He went to Philly and he made his mark in the postseason, pitching in the playoffs and World Series for them. Ends up in Seattle, but this guy like it too. He gets it and throws it. Not a huge strikeout guy, even though he punched out 10 guys today. But you got to like this guy. I mean, very sought-out left-hander during the trade deadline last year. So
and will be this coming year as a free agent. He's already let everyone know that this guy is a punch-out guy. More than 1,600 strikeouts for CC Sabathia.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that say this is the man. I mean, that's why he didn't get $130 million just to stay in shape, even though he doesn't look like he's in shape. You look at him out there, 140 wins. This guy has a legitimate chance. He's 29, going to be 30 in July, to win 300 ball games. Because it's not going to happen, I don't think, in a long, long time. But this guy has a shot at it. He's got a long ways to go, and with that body, he's got to be careful. But he's a power guy, and you're talking about, when you talk about guys being the best left-hander, I want guys that punch people out. And, here's a guy that strikes out a lot of guys and has good command. He's got a good changeup. He throws the ball real good. I mean, it's a toss-up, but you know how we are. We're here in Boston, and we've got the best in Boston. Number one is John Lester.
Is number 1. Only 26 years old, too. You got to point that out.
Absolutely. You know what he's went through with the cancer and all that. But, this started on that May 19th? A few years ago. It started with a no-no, and we started looking at John Lester in a different way. And this guy went on to win, 15, 16 games that year, and then last year what he did. I mean, he was dominant. I'm talking dominant. He's got more weapons than any of those left-handers on that list. I love to watch this guy pitch. I love how he goes about it. I mean, he's just, I tell you, faceless, emotionless. He's on a mission. This guy is capable of doing anything. And last year, after punching out 225 guys, we've seen what he's done the last 5 starts. And when you give it to a guy like this that doesn't have really necessarily the length of work that these other guys have, it says a lot about him. And we love him, but we're just a little prejudiced here.
What's remarkable is, and they won't admit to it now, most Red Sox fans wanted the deal for Santana a few years ago, would have been Lester and a bunch of other guys, you wouldn't trade Lester for Santana straight up today.
You know something? I might have done it back then because that's before he turned the corner. And everybody looks at him so different. And I can't help but say that no-hitter because I looked at him different after he threw that game.
But you got to give the Red Sox brass credit for knowing what they had in John Lester. Let's look at the up-and-comers, guys who might be on this list if we do it again in a year but aren't quite there yet.
Well, you got to put Dallas Braden, even though his record is tired, 18-24, but he plays for the A's. He's a little older. When a guy throws a perfect game, you're going to get some notice, and so we'll notice him, all right? But the other three guys are first-round draft choices with, everybody's expecting great things out of him. You say David Price may be the man, but he's got a ways to go. This is his first full season as a starter. Ricky Romero pitched last year, and you just saw where he threw a shutout, punched out 12 yesterday. And everybody talks about Matos, this guy with a good changeup, knows how to pitch. And they're thinking big things with him, but he pitches for Baltimore. How are you going to do it there?
It's remarkable. Ricky Romero up and coming on our list at 25 years old. Scott Kazmir washed up. He's 26 years old.
True.
It's
really
a very
not
fine
fair.
line.
It's really not fair. But
too many pitches too early in his career.
Absolutely.
I'm convinced that's